Welcome to ONV Respect the Game podcast. We're going to get going. Today we had a great conversation last month with the NIL. Today we're going to be talking about parents being involved with our youth doing sports. So we're going to get started real quick.
Why are you laughing back there?
Because I didn't see some parents get involved.
Well, we're going to get with the first question. How old should it be for the parents to stop coaching their children in sports?
As far as when you say stop coaching, as far as being a head coach over the child or coaching from the sideline?
Well, let's go with coaching
In general.
in general.
Yeah, because I think it shouldn't be.
I think, period, as a coach, as a parent that had a child that play basketball or sports, I'm not the coach.
So
Period.
be the parent then.
I'm the parent. Because
I
simple
agree.
fact, if I'm a coach you as a child now, as my child, now I'm finna put a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, and that's pressure 24/7.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, guess what? If I release my child to you, and I know you a good coach, that's your job. My job is to be a father.
But then you're on the sideline trying to tell me how to coach your child.
No, I'm not.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm not. Because
that's how it
simple
works.
fact, if
You know what they good at though, right?
yeah, I know what they're good at, and if I trust my child with Mike, it's all you.
Time out. You know how you get them coaches that's trying to make your child a different type of player though? Are you resisting against that?
No, because you ain't doing nothing but making that child better.
We got an unrealistic parent here.
No, I'm not. I'm
just
being
saying,
honest.
we
I'm
got
gonna tell
an
you,
unrealistic
and I'm gonna
parent
tell
here.
you honestly, it's only been one time I lost my cool when my daughter was playing basketball, and the only time I lost my cool when the coach gave up on the kids.
Okay. But
So that's when I lost
You
it.
stepped in when
No, I went off.
Okay, well, here's my thing. If my child is playing and I'm coaching, that's why you get to play. So I'm out there coaching my child for a reason.
so you biased. You one of those.
Yeah, he's
coaches.
biased.
I'm definitely biased.
and that's not fair. But
It
think
may
about
not
that's
be
not
fair.
fair. That's not
So-
fair to the other kids though.
Okay, so when a lot of times when we as coaches tell these parents when they trying to tell us what to do, we say, well, go get your own team.
Oh, so now you telling them.
Yeah, go get
So-
your own team. If you're gonna tell me how to, if you entrust me with
So
your
that's
child.
him. He getting his own team. He want to coach his
Okay,
kid.
well, coach your child because if I'm entrusting you with my child as a parent, I'm trusting you.
But there's some good parents who's coaching their child and coaching other people's child as well.
And I get it, but I mean personally, when my daughter started playing basketball, I stopped coaching because simple fact, I want to be a parent now.
Back to your question though. You said what age?
What age?
I'm thinking like right after like the elementary years, like 5th grade and under, you can be involved. Like maybe they may need some sort of off the court,
Developmental.
direction or something like that. But
Yeah.
the moment they get in high school, they kind of got to rely
Yeah.
on that coach. That's how I feel about the situation.
Yeah, I think high school, because what a lot of parents don't recognize is when college coaches come to recruit, they're watching those parents too,
That's key.
and parents can mess up scholarship offers.
Wow,
Now explain a little more on what do you mean?
that's a whole nother perspective.
Yeah, give me how you.
For example, right now, a situation going on at IU. C.J. Gunn. C.J. Gunn was a high-rated basketball player in the state of Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays for IU right now. He's a freshman. Okay, the coach that recruited him to IU is no longer there. Mike Woodson here right now, right? Went to an IU game with C.J. Gunn, with my partner, but we sat with C.J. Gunn parents. His parents are highly educated. They mom worked for is it Eli Lilly, and dad got a job, and dad is militant. Very intelligent and militant. Dad be in the chat room and be on social media dogging out IU because they're not playing C.J. Gunn.
Right.
Now, one of the games during the tournament, Mike Woodson let everybody play but C.J. Gunn.
So that
Out of spite.
his little spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that was intentional though?
both sides intentional.
Yeah.
And who suffer for it is the
The
child.
child.
Player, yep.
Yeah.
As always.
And he's a good dude. The parents good too, but
Yeah.
I think high school is a crucial
Breaking
age and
point.
stuff because they're looking at the parents and stuff. And when my children got in middle school, I sent them to Mike
Right.
because you can only teach them so much. You got to let the village teach them other things.
Right, right.
You know, that's how I feel.
But I think when Mr. Ayers, Mike said this, I think because I think it was Doc Rivers that said this. He didn't coach his kids when they were younger, and he hated coaching his son in the pros. Not because he didn't like his son. It was too much in the dynamics in which that they had to deal with. I mean, because you never left it on the court.
Right.
Every time you were in it 24/7, you never left it on the court.
Yeah.
So I think I'm agree with Mr. Muhammad. 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, when they develop their own sense of being, you need to step away because sooner or later, it's not going to stop translating from the court. It's going to go home. It's going to go on vacations.
right.
It's going to be. So I would
It's
stop
what you
coaching
need
my
to be
child
working on.
when they got to know themselves.
Well, I know for experience, I myself ruined my child sports career because I was so
Hard on it.
hard.
Man.
You know, I wanted the best.
That's happening a lot.
Yes, I mean, you know, and you don't know it until it's too late.
What about the child that's equally talented to the coach's child, or may have a step or a level above him, but he don't get that opportunity. He or she don't get that opportunity, but coach want their children in there.
And
They
that's
playing the same
And
position.
there you go. And that's why I said
and that's where that. That's I mean that's the reason why, you know, parent coaches is out there doing what they do. If they not doing it for the right reason, then they're messing up everybody around, even their own child. You know, so I agree with that.
I got a question though. So what are you telling your kid if they come into you for advice? Are you giving them coaching, like, or are you telling them, hey, I can't, you know?
No, you give them advice.
Okay.
And that's one thing about it. I did give my daughter advice. I watched the games, and one of the things I told her, when the coach pull you out, watch the game, slow
Now
the game.
you coaching though.
That's coaching.
That is
That's
coaching.
no-
If you think
no.
about it on another level, that's coaching.
And this is what I told her. When you're on the bench, when the coach pull you out, slow the game down in your mind. Watch the game and slow it down. Now, when you slow the game down mentally, you see where you need to fit at.
That's coaching.
Coaching
I mean,
That's
you want
what
to call
you're
it
doing.
coaching, but it's advice because it's one thing a coach told me.
Did she
When
have
did
asked for the advice though?
Yes, she was like, "Oh, Dad, what did I do, or
Ask
how
your
can
coach.
how can I improve?" Listen, when you're on that bench, watch the game, slow it down mentally.
But here's the thing too, and you're right. Good question. If you're doing it at home, I say it's advice. If you're doing it during
Practice or the game, that's coaching. It's two different levels.
And
So-
I share a time when I was completely wrong as a parent. Mike laughed. Mike was like, "You probably got many of these." my son Dre Muhammad was playing for Harding. He was a freshman. I felt that he was the most skilled player at Harding.
He was
Period.
biased. That's all parents.
But it was
Anybody can account
wait.
for that in the room? Look.
yeah. You right about that, but this time I was right
Okay.
because he was the most skilled. But Al Gooden had a rule that only the juniors and seniors can play. But varsity.
Yeah.
But the problem was with that is once you know you're gonna automatically play, how much work you gonna put in.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
True.
And it was showing that they wasn't putting in work. But to finish your point, you was right about that, but I'm gonna make you wrong. Right?
Always.
he this what I did. This was at the Coliseum. I went up to the this is parents, you don't do this. I went up to the while during the game, I went up to Al Gooden. I said, "Look, you either play my son or I'm pulling him out to school."
Oh yeah, he was one of them coaches. I mean, one of them parents.
Yeah, but check this out. He was in there the next 5 minutes.
Oh, wow. He needed him.
Huh? He didn't really need them, but it was his team. I was wrong, but I know I had a point.
Okay.
You know, like I just can't sit as a parent and watch your people play and then.
You know something? It was the same thing. That's what I said. The one time I went way left.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes left. Well, 6 minutes left in the game. Lures. My daughter played for Lures. They was down 10. They had hit a cold spell. Cool. I'm thinking the coach is calling a timeout to talk to him. Hey, I know we hitting a rocky spot, but we need to keep playing. You know what this coach did? Now you got 6 minutes left on the game, and you only down 10. That's what, 2 stops?
That's 2 stops.
That's literally 2 stops.
Yeah.
And the score. He pulled all the starters out
He gave up.
and went to the bottom of his bench. I lost it.
But that's his right.
As
I
a
lost
coach.
it. As a
As a
coach.
As a coach, yeah.
That's his right, but at the end of the day, guess what? That let me know you gave up on your girls.
They also gave up on him on the court.
No, they didn't give up. They were just broke. You know how you shoot? They shooting. They getting the shots off, but they're not making them.
Yeah.
So at this point, you recognize, okay, y'all off. Let me call a timeout. Let me get y'all back into. Okay, listen, y'all know y'all off, but keep shooting, keep gunning, keep going. That's the advice I would have gave as a coach. Not pull everybody out and go to
But
the
are you
bottom
saying
of
that
the
as
bench.
a parent or is that a coach?
As a coach.
I'm just saying that,
As a
and I
parent.
only ask this because you know it's a
I
thin
say
line.
as a coach because at the end of the day, if we got 6 minutes left on the
And
clock
they not-
and we only down 10, that's how much time you got to run.
They not-
So let me ask this question because we're gonna
Well,
move into
okay.
this subject
Okay,
real
okay.
quick.
Okay.
How much do the parents have a right on the sideline to be coaching?
None.
None.
Then there you go. You should have been quiet.
No.
You should have been.
I mean, I looked at it.
You just answered the
But
question.
no, I mean, I didn't say anything.
got one
I lost it. I got mad, cussed the coach out
I got one
from across the
question.
Western. But I'm looking at it from a coach's standpoint. Okay,
But I
gotta
still
look
need
at
to
it from a
still
coach.
say
win
I
the
think you're
game
looking
though.
from
That's
a
the real
parent.
question.
no,
So
because
what you did didn't help.
no, but at the end of the
Okay,
day, he put the bottom of the bench in. When I say the bottom of
That
the
parent
bench,
wanted to see that child play.
let's go on with some bull.
Come on, E.
But-
Hey,
no,
it wasn't
but-
hot.
but-
They was probably gonna get one off.
No.
Get a lucky
They
shot
didn't
or
even get
something.
one off. They didn't even get cross half court.
So
Hold
once
on,
again,
go ahead.
hold up. So once again, we supposed to be teaching student athletes.
Right.
Ooh,
Student athletes.
Think about that.
So it ain't about the win or the loss. We're trying to be student of the game.
Can I get some cognac behind that? Behind what you just said. I need some cognac behind
I'm
what
saying,
you
what
just
is
said.
you teaching
I
your
wanna
child as a
win,
parent
you know?
though?
No, I mean,
I feel you there,
But
but-
you know, Mike, me and you coach together, so I understand your concept. You know I do. So, but at what point do you give up on your team as a coach?
You never give up. To me.
So
You
at
never-
that point, I looked at it. He gave up because the simple fact you have plenty of time on the clock
Well.
to rally back.
that's opinion.
You never seen a good bench player? That's what you telling me.
But you.
Yes,
but-
I have.
But you
Okay.
know what probably played a part in that? It was probably other parents pressure him behind the scenes
Oh, like you
to
do.
play.
No, I never. I never. You know what I'm
Played
saying?
his children.
Like I said, as a parent, I never approached him or say anything about any of that. As far as basketball, why you not playing my daughter or none of that. None of that because once again, if I entrusted you as a coach, I have to step up. I'm a parent,
Right.
so that's your.
But
right,
I gotta go with his question. Where do you stand as a parent? Now, my thing is, I'm gonna let the coach do what he does, especially, and I'm gonna tell you this because I know football, I know track, I know baseball, but I don't play basketball. I've never played basketball. I don't have the skills to play basketball, so I don't have the mentality to be able to sit out there and even tell the coach. I mean, even in football, I don't have the right to tell. My position is when a child comes home, if he has a problem, then we can give him advice. We can talk to him, and then if there's a problem with the coach, we can then meet them. But while it's in the game, that's that coach's decision. That's that coach. I don't have a right. I don't think any parent has a right on any level to tell a coach, play my child, don't do this, don't do that. I mean, you see it in all sports.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So I don't think parents, your right is to be a parent, not a coach.
Right.
I done seen-
If you used to be a coach, they put you on a payroll.
Right. You
I ain't seen
stepping on their
parents
toes.
get loose, But it's just like, really?
Well, I agree with stats because a lot of times you have to allow that coach to make mistakes to better their team because you can't learn from winning all the time.
Right.
You got to learn. You got to learn from losing. What can we do next time? Why did I bring you out the game? Them last 6 minutes. What didn't y'all not do?
Right.
Think about
for
the
me
lessons.
to keep you in the
right.
game.
Think
Right.
about the lessons that's
The
being
lessons.
So
taught.
it has to be some. Thank you. It has to be some lesson learned from your play. So if you're not watching the whole game, you just wondering why they're getting pulled out in 6 minutes of the game.
No, I watched the whole game.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I watched the whole game. I understand.
I'm just saying. I understand what you're
He's
saying.
still how salty.
Yeah, I'm still a little
Yeah.
salty about it.
It's because they lost. If they would have
the thing
won,
about it,
Because he a parent. He a parent coach.
no, the thing about it
And he
is,
refused to believe that.
so the thing about it is, honestly, I know good coaching and I know bad coaching.
so you coach from the sideline.
No,
with
I do
bad
not.
coaching.
No.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, when I'm on the sideline, I'm a father.
We do have this on recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna come back to this.
But here's my thing.
I don't
Here's
have
my
no more
thing.
kids playing, so I'm good.
but here's my thing, and that's a pertinent question, Mr. Ayers. Not only what rights do parents have to say about games, but if you give me an inch, I'm gonna take 4 miles. I'm not gonna stop at 1 mile. I'm gonna take it. It might be. I mean, you've seen violent instances where coaches and where was that the former? He was a former football player. He played for Denver Broncos. His brother. They were coaching a Pee Wee League game over the summer. He was a cornerback. Talib, I can't even think of his name, but his brother ended up killing a man over a Pee Wee game because of the playing style, the coaching style. I mean, and he got into it. And this has not just happened at this time, but it happens all the time. Where does the line stop? I mean, if you give me an inch and you don't say anything, I'm going the whole 4 miles.
Okay, I gotta agree with that. Definitely gotta agree with that.
So we have a lot of incidents as we just talked about in the game of whatever it be, basketball, baseball, football.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of it.
And it's because of the parent.
Fighting the refs, fighting the empire.
Well, the referee is going to be the referee. They're going to be either good or terrible. You got to live what they call.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't know the game. We don't understand that part of the game, that the referee is going to be terrible. Or the referee going to be biased
Yeah.
when you go into a hostile environment.
Yep.
And a lot of time, our parents don't understand when you go in that hostile environment that we done been in, that you got to be in control of yourself to help your players out. Because once you understand doing all that cussing and everything else, guess what's going to happen?
Oh, I'm hitting your child quick.
It's going to get worse for them.
Yeah. Man.
So a lot of times we need to understand our involvement on the sideline. And I heard it tonight. Wait till you get your child home and teach your child at home where your involvement at. What could you have done better?
And then the energy you feed your child, not just your child, but that team, because the team can lose belief in the coaching and what the coach trying to do. So
And listen just to the parent. primarily.
yeah.
Well, my dad said,
Yeah.
I know how that is.
Yeah, and think about like athlete fathers, because Mr. Muhammad, you were an athlete. You said, and your son, athlete father. We all think since we played the game, we are masters of the game. So, and if the coach, because a lot of coaches like whether the Van Gundy brothers, they never picked up a basketball in their life. So imagine them being high school or AAU coaches and you play basketball, Mr. Muhammad, and they're not playing your son. Are you going to expect your son? You going to tell your son, I know more than them. I know better than them, and we're in that. So you just need to be a parent and not.
And to feed into what you're saying, it is the quality of coaching. There are parents that do know more than the coaches, but just to get back to what we're trying to teach is parents should be parents and let the coach coach, no matter whether you know more than them.
Or
Amen.
if you right or if you
Right.
wrong.
So then with that, feeding off of that, we all should be teaching our kids not to quit. And a lot of times, our parents is the reason why our kids are quitting.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you teach that if you the reason they quitting?
Because it took me a long time to learn not to quit.
You see what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. Hey, you know
Like, they
something?
quit because of you, not the coach.
That's a good question. Because I keep having to reference my daughter. She wanted to quit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done that. No. You started something,
Right.
you finish it. Hands down. I'm not letting you quit. I'm not letting you give up. I don't care if y'all 0-30. You're going to stay the course. Period. If you don't install that in your child, if you start something, you got to finish it. They're going to quit on other things in life.
Right.
And life period.
Right.
Exactly.
But here's a thing of quitting that we don't think of as quitting. Now, Mr. Muhammad said he was going to take his son out of Harding. Think about it. You're on a travel league. Well, I'm gonna take my kid and play at this AAU team. I'm gonna take him to Nike Elite. I'm gonna take him to this. We get them in their gear. If it's not, we're not teaching them. If it's you can make it work here. We're teaching them. If you don't like it here, let's just move. And I think that happens with a lot of parents because of the coaching.
That's how we think though as parents. If I don't like it over here, I'm gonna try it out somewhere else.
Right. And you're installing that in your children, and I think that has to do with a lot with the transfer portal now because parents are not only NIL but they're not getting the playing time. And I mentioned before we came on the air Deion Sanders. Now some coaches, just by notoriety, they get the players and they follow them because Deion has all these transfers coming to Colorado and different things. But then you got like Hawaii. They lost a lot of players because they saying their program, their coaching, and they changed coaches like I think 2 or 3 times in the last 4 years.
Wow.
So, and you don't get that stability. So parents are like, oh, so. Mike Woodson love. Oh, he the one recruited you. Let's get out of here. I've seen that happen even before transfer portal. People, redshirting or giving up a year just to get out of there because that coach is not there anymore.
So when we're talking about youth, once again, we need to teach our kids that quitting is a life learned lesson. So
correct.
When you start quitting, you quit on everything.
Mm-hmm.
If the person at your job don't say the right thing to you, you gonna quit. You go into school and it's hard, you're gonna quit. So we need to start teaching our kids, you stay the course, like you say.
Right.
You stay the course, and then after it's done, we go try something else. But we're gonna finish this out.
Yeah,
so a lot of times we as parents are very not knowledgeable,
right?
And we
allow
thinking we thinking we're doing what's best for our kids, but we really hurting our kids.
Can I sneak a question in before you go, Coach Harris, real quick? I'm going to flip that question for the coaches. How much respect do you give parents, or do you have to give parents respect or listen to parents?
Me personally, I give the parents all the utmost respect because they're allowing me to coach their kid, first of all. But they have to understand it only goes so far, because you can't tell me how to coach your child. You can't tell me how to coach my team. And you can't ask me why your child not playing. You ask your own child why he not playing. Because he going to get it from me why he's not working hard, he's not doing this, he's not doing that in practice.
Yes.
What you do in practice is what you do on the court.
I got you.
And so as a coach, we're going to have a great understanding, or I'm going to tell you personally, go get your own team. If you want your child to do whatever he want to do out there on the court.
So are you purposely explaining to the kids that's not playing why they not playing, or they got to come up and ask?
No. They get it. They get it from day one.
Okay.
Yeah. And one thing I can say, he is right. I coach with him.
Okay.
Yeah. And it takes a lot to be like, you got talent, but you're not doing what the team need. Have a seat.
But the one thing I'm not going to do is give up on them.
No. And
the one thing about that is, is a lot of times we're going to make sure that if you're working hard in practice, you're going to get an opportunity. Not may not be what the parents want, may not be what you want, but we're gonna give you an opportunity to see what you could do or where you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing and why you're not playing. Because if you get put in a game and you're not performing, guess what?
Not
You
doing your
can't
job.
play.
Yeah, you
But
ain't doing your
but
job.
as a parent, are you going to want to hear that? I mean,
Well, you know,
if you
sometimes-
paying money and all
Yes.
this other stuff,
sometimes you got to be realistic. So, as a coach, you have to be realistic at the beginning. You have to let the parents know this is how it is, this is how it's going to be. And if you're not happy, I understand.
that takes the fun away from the younger kids. I understand once you get to a certain age, but why they all 8
Well-
and under?
That's a whole different. I want everybody playing.
Okay,
You know, I want everybody on the court. I want everybody running with the basketball.
okay.
That's not the critical time. The critical time is when you middle school.
Middle school and up.
When you start middle school and you start going to that next level, or you're going to tournaments and you seeing a team come in there as a fourth grader could beat your sixth graders. So you know it comes with the territory, but everybody around the program has to be realistic about it. And the one person, the one people who are not realistic
It's the
about it,
parents.
it's the parents because they want their child playing at all times.
and he won't tell you parents, that parent that don't want the 6 minutes to go without his kid being on the court.
I could care less. No, honestly, I could care less when my daughter was on the court. I really can. But what I look at it is, don't pull. If you got a fighting chance, let's fight.
Yeah, but
And that's just me. And I just how I look at it. I mean, basketball. I'm gonna put it like this. Basketball was my heart. I played basketball, high school, middle school, but track got me my scholarship, and I learned a lot on the track to play basketball. I understand it's not a one-man sport. I understand, hey, if Mike beat me in this race, I'm coming to get him. And I took that to the court as well. Hey, Mike crossed me over. I got to get back on defense and let him know you're not going to do it again. So it's just one of those simple. I'm a firm believer every child need to be a two-sport player.
Really?
Period.
I got, before we move on, we got a comment for the audience, and we want to address this before we get out of here. What if the child is only playing because the parents are living through their kids? Is that a reality or a reality of quitting? Is it really quitting? I'm sorry.
No,
what
it's
if
not.
what if the child is only playing because the parent is living vicariously through them, and the child gives up? Is the child really quitting?
My son, and I'm glad that question came out. My son is 6'1". He played football for a couple years, played basketball for a couple years. Know what he told one of his coaches? Only reason I'm playing because everybody don't think I can play. I really don't want to play these sports. So, you know, and now I'm realizing, okay, you feel like I'm forcing you to do this. Bruh, you ain't got to.
But are y'all seeing parents that's doing that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
all the time.
And
My
that-
child gonna be the best in this because that's what I did. That's what we see majority of the time.
Correct.
So when we coaching, and we know this, you know that parents is living their life through their child. They
Shoot
dream,
it, shoot it.
You know.
Yeah.
And you get 5 people on one person.
Yeah.
They still telling them
Don't
to
pass
shoot the
it.
ball.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Man,
it right
that's
there.
unrealistic. But that's just that parent want that child to shine at that particular time, and you know that's just part of the game.
It's just a lot of with parents. It's a lot of emotion involved and not a lot of rational thinking.
Yeah, I think a lot of times with that, Mark, is a lot of times is that they don't care about the game itself.
No.
They just care about
they
their
just
child.
about their child.
I know when I sent my sons to you, I know that they were gonna get coached because I knew who you were. So if they was on the bench, you was on the bench for a reason. If you was just in there for a certain time slot, you know, I already knew you was teaching them different things. You know, so
You know, I was just blessed to have that opportunity to have different level of kids. And, you know, when you start out at a 3rd grade or a 4th grade level coaching, it's easier because you want everybody to be successful. You know, so you really don't have them parents jumping on your back because how
You coaching.
you coaching.
Correct.
You know, they're satisfied because you let their child in
Yep.
to run around, even though you don't want to put them in.
Yeah.
You
That's the development stage though, so that come with it.
You
so.
still want to win. You know, especially when you're competing against teams that is a great, you know, that's good. You want your team to perform along with them. So a lot of times, you know, even at a younger age level, we still want our kids to shine. I don't care.
So I got a question. So all this bad coach/parenting, how come we don't see it at the collegiate level? Or because them college coaches don't take that,
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
you know.
I think it's a respect of money and position. Where I see Coach Ayers is he just doing this for fun. He don't know nothing. I respect that $1 million coach that's getting paid. I'm not gonna say that.
So we need to get paid.
Think about it.
Well, that's a trick question
That is a trick question.
because a lot of times you got unsatisfied players on that team. They ain't saying nothing because they know if they say something, they're gonna get kicked off the team
Yeah. Cut.
or cut. You know, so
Too many spots.
with the transfer now,
Yeah, so in high school,
I think it's the same. I think, you know, like if you look around our community in the city,
It's politicky in high school though.
yeah,
It's
but
very. In high school,
kids are still going from one program to another program,
Yeah,
and nothing being said.
yeah.
So, you know,
They moved out their mama house and went to live with their dad.
that's just the way it's gonna be from now on. I mean, it was that even before the NIL or whatever, you know.
the NIL done changed. The NIL done changed a lot of things,
Yeah,
and there's nothing you could do about that.
no, well,
So,
I mean, I look at it as a standpoint of parents need that literally. If you let your child go to a certain school or play with a certain coach, that let me know if you entrust your child with me, entrust your child with me. Stay out my way. I could take your advice. I could take your criticism off to the side, but stay out the way when I'm on the court and I'm coaching. I mean, it's just that simple. Do you want me to come to your job and tell you how to do your job?
yeah. I just want parents to respect coaches, and you know, I don't think anybody needs to put their hands on anybody. I think you need to know your boundaries. I think you need to know your place, and let that coach be a coach. I mean, I can understand, you know, your passion, but don't let your passion become your fury. And I think that happens a lot with parents against coaches. They think because they know and they got that passion for their child that it becomes their fury when the coach is not doing what they think they should be doing by their child. So I just think, you know, parents just need to know their place.
Pretty much.
You also in closer reach with the kids versus being like on a college platform. Like the coach is so far off that you can't really get involved on every play and like you can at a child sport event.
Yeah, because I was that parent on the front row.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I was that parent on the front row.
Yeah, you just want getting ejected.
I never got ejected. But I was that parent on the front row. And it's, you know, once you watch a team for so long, you learn their plays. And it's just like, okay, it's been times when I'm like, okay, I hear the coach screaming trap, but the kids don't hear him because they on my side.
Okay.
So I'm like, trap him, or
Oh,
you know,
okay.
you know what I'm saying? Because you can hear the coach screaming trap, but they so engulfed in the game. And a lot of times, and I'm gonna be quite honest, as a child when I played basketball, I could have a stadium full of people. It's only one voice I'm gonna always hear. It's that parent, which was my mom.
Yeah.
I mean, I ran track in the stadium jam packed, but I always could hear my mom's voice over everything, everybody screaming. So sometimes a child can only hear that one voice, and especially if you like I said, I'm hearing the coach scream trap, and I'm like, okay, trap. I'm screaming trap right along with the coach because the simple fact that's what he's calling for. Y'all can't hear it. Oh, yeah, I need a trap. So, I mean, it's certain times as a parent, if you doing it for the team, not for your child per se,
I can agree with that.
it works.
Well, I was going to say the same. I agree with that as well because, like, when you do have that positive parent that's involved, because we all, as coaches, we want parents there.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the parents is in the stands, that child going to play harder.
It's gonna feel good.
It don't feel great.
You know, they're going to play harder because they want to perform in front of their parents.
Yeah.
And when that parent is not there and there's nobody there to support them, it's a big difference.
Got you.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we're gonna conclude this podcast. This was a great conversation.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, it was.
Definitely.
I really enjoyed this one. This was very emotional, you know, from the heart, as you could hear it around the room, and everybody was very in depth in this. E, I want you to get us out of here, man.
Hey, always protect your mind.
Respect the game on 3. 1, 2, 3, respect the game.